First off, a round of applause for me. You guys, I installed this hair myself. But to be honest, this is the easiest wig for me to install, and I actually struggled. I wanted to do a center part, but the center part was not centering. So I just ended up doing like, this is not even a side part. This is just like a side swoop or something like that. And you guys, would you believe if I tell you I've had this hair since 2018? The best thing you can do for yourself is to invest in quality wigs. Like, just try and buy good hair. I know it's expensive, I know the economy is bad, but try, because I've had this hair for like 7 years and it still looks this good. This is Eurasian curls in, I think, 16 inches or so. I got it in a full frontal. I don't know what the length and be the dent, what do they call it? I don't know if it's like 13 by something. I don't know the measurement of the frontal, because I've had it for a while and I've installed it and they've been cutting the lace, which is, but I've had this hair since 2017, 2018, and it still looks this good. So please and please try and buy good hair. Anyways, enough about my hair. Let's talk about my makeup a little bit. My makeup is fine. Like, look at it, look at my eyeliner, look at everything. And I think I've finally given up on fixing lashes, because every time I go through that stress, it ends up ruining my eyeshadow. And for now, I'm just like, I beg, I don't have time. Let me just carry my eyes like that and I'll wear mascara and I still look good now. Abi. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about self-love. But do you really love yourself? So recently I had an experience that made me understand I may not love myself as much as I think I do, because most times we hear about self-love and we think it's just about saying, oh, I love myself, but it's a million times more than that. I also watched a video on Instagram that kind of solidified the fact that when it comes to self-love, I still have lots of internal work to do. Although for the video, it was posted by Tunde Ednot. It was a girl. She was basically like giving advice to people. If you're in a relationship, if your boyfriend leaves you, all those things, you cry, you get back up, and all of those things. Even though my experience, like the experience I had that made me realize, I needed to work on myself, had nothing to do with like a romantic relationship, but listening to her talk about self-love made me really know that yes, Debbie, there's still some work to be done. Because in all honesty, if I love myself as much as I think I do, there's so many tears I've shed that I shouldn't have had, and if I spent more time showing myself the kind of love that I crave from people around me, I probably would not need them as much. I say the word need because it's okay to want people. It's okay to want the people around you to show up for you, to make you feel special. But what's not okay is the validation of your self-worth being tied to other people's approval. If nobody tells you are beautiful, or they are proud of you, or they see how hard you work, it shouldn't make you doubt yourself. I also understand it's not possible for you to love yourself if you don't know yourself. I know who I am in Christ, which I think forms most of the opinion that I have about myself. But while the Bible tells us that you are redeemed, you are the apple of God's eyes, holding on to God's description of who He says we are shouldn't cover up for our shortcomings or stop us from being accountable for our actions. Recently, I was in a women's only webinar hosted by my dear friend Foma Yomu. I call her Foma Yomu because her surname is Yomu, and when she got married, she was like, Debbie, stop calling me Yomu. So now I call her Foma Yomu. So before we even get into what was said in that webinar, she has a program coming up called Femi Heal. It's for the woman who feels empty but accomplished. You guys, if I had money, I'll sponsor all of you to go on that journey, because even that one day section we had, it was impactful. So please and please, if it's something you're interested in, I'm going to be dropping the link to our Instagram, so please check it out to find out all the information you need about Femi Heal. So back to that webinar, there was a question she asked us. She was like, when was the last time you asked yourself, how are you? Now, I for one, I'm someone who is always open about how I'm feeling, especially to myself. I may not necessarily know how to express myself to other people, but I'm always honest to myself. I always like to sit down and ask myself, Debbie, how are you? Are you okay? Is everything all right? I try as much as possible to always be honest with myself, because it's one thing to lie to another people, but it's a different level of insanity to lie to yourself. But when she asked us that question, I found that most of the women in that webinar, they could not remember the last time they asked themselves how they were really doing. So for you to know yourself, you have to spend time with yourself. You have to ask yourself over and over again how you're doing. I say it all the time that my channel is like therapy for me, because most times when I have a topic I want to talk about, I spend time to really think about it, to listen to my inner voice, to know how I feel about what I want to talk about. So in doing that, I get to spend time with myself. I get to ask myself loads and loads of questions, but I understand not everybody does that. And I think for you to really fall in love with yourself, you have to get into that habit of spending time alone with yourself. Like, sit down with your emotions and understand yourself better. So for me, I think one of the indications of self-love is you being honest with yourself. It's you being able to call yourself out on your bad habits. It's you sitting down and saying, my life is like this because of something I've done. It's you admitting that you're a work in progress and you make mistakes and bad decisions. Real self-love is calling yourself out on your bad habits and recognizing the need to change for you to be a better person for yourself. It's knowing what you like about yourself and what you hate about yourself. So even when people call you names, when they try to give you labels, you know the ones to accept, you know the ones to reject. And even if they point out the terrible parts about you, it's not even going to hurt as much because you know these are your bad habits. Real self-love for me is deciding to not be for people what they are not to me. I still struggle with it because there's always a constant battle between being my true authentic self and realizing not everybody deserves to get that version of me. I hate to pretend or act like I don't care when I do. So instead of going through all that stress, why not spend that energy on people who actually care about me and deserve to be cared by me? Self-love for me is knowing the things I want or the things I need and not having to tie it to someone else or associate it with another person. Real self-love is saying, oh, I want something, and then I go ahead and get it myself. It's not when you buy something and then you lie that it's one man that bought it for you. If you do that, you deserve to rot in jail. Like, you should be jailed. Self-love is knowing you want something and going to get it yourself, not caring if you have to do it alone or with someone else, not caring if it will be a million times harder for you to get it yourself. Self-love is walking away from conversations that don't serve you. Recently, I was having a conversation with someone. It wasn't about me, like we're not even talking about me, but I just did not like the way the conversation was going, and I caught myself and I was like, Debbie, why are you here? Like, you don't have to sit for this conversation if you don't like how it's making you feel. And so I stood up, carried my bag, and I left. And I'm sure this person will be wondering, but why did she get up? I didn't say anything bad about her. I'm not insulting her, but I just knew that this is not something I want to hear. This is not a conversation I want to entertain. And that for me is self-love. Self-love is choosing to be around people who make you feel good about yourself. If you ever have to second guess how someone makes you feel, that's all the indication you need that you probably should not be around this person. In my quest for divine direction, one thing I've come to understand is confusion is also direction. When you are not 100% sure about something, it's a sign you should probably step back and really think about the situation. Real self-love is knowing anybody I choose 100 should also be ready to stand 10 toes behind me. And if I look back and I cannot see you, it's probably a sign. Real self-love is choosing to care for your body because you only get one. It's choosing healthy habits, going to the gym, watching your weight. Because I understand eating like a thief might feel good while you're doing it. But how do you feel when you step on a scale or you look at the mirror and you don't like what you see? You're seeing parts of yourself you wish you could change and you actually have the power to change or do something about. But because you're not disciplined enough to actually go for what you want, you remain just like that. Real self-love is you choosing your heart, discipline, consistency, showing up for yourself. These are things that are really difficult. But I promise you, 5 years from now, if you wake up in the same spot as you were yesterday, you would hate yourself a million times more. Self-love is deciding to stay alone until you find people who are right for you. It is very easy to pack a million people as friends, but you deserve to be around people who make your soul smile. Real self-love is knowing my mistakes don't shape who I am. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I failed school. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, my boyfriend dumped me. And so it doesn't mean I'm a failure. Real self-love is knowing I love you, being with you makes me happy. And if I have to lose what is left of me to keep you, it's probably not worth it. Because there was something that attracted you to me. And even if I choose to lose myself to keep you, one day you would wake up and you would barely recognize me. And you still would not want me either way. Real self-love is choosing to walk away before I'm told to get out. Recently, somebody I cared about hurt me, and I just looked at this person and I said, this is the last time you would have the opportunity to do something like this to me. And I meant it with all my heart. That for me is self-love. because no matter how much I love this person, no matter how much I cared for this person, I knew it was not okay for this person to treat me like this. And if I make an excuse for you and I bring you back in my life, you will do something even worse than that, and I'll be so mad at myself because you showed me who you were and I chose to be blind. So the next time you say I love myself, ask, am I really treating myself with love through my words, through my actions, through my thoughts, through my decisions? Because at the end of the day, self-love is a quiet, consistent commitment to your growth, your peace, and your worth. So you guys, thanks for watching this video till the end. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm fighting you. Please hit that subscribe button, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.